Hello, you pedal and sound aficionados. Today, we're looking at the Pentatone spin-offs from Ibanez, namely the EQ and the Gate. Now, I reviewed the Pentatone preamp, which was a Mesa-style kind of high-gainy thing with graphic EQ, which was fairly priced and pretty damn awesome in terms of the tones you could get. And now Ibanez released a 5-band, fully parametric EQ and Gate. And when I heard about that, I was like, okay, utility pedals, interesting, but not mind-blowing. Then I got them in my hands and was like, oh, okay, very nice build quality and all that, and cool look and cool functionality. And then I looked at the pricing and my mind was blown. These are, for what they offer, I'm going to say it, budget pedals. The Gate, 99 bucks. Very well built, high-low threshold gain, you know, and it's a trigger gate. We're going to get to that in a sec. And then the EQ, you know, this bar, everything is pretty damn high-end on it and very solidly built. I gave these to Glenn Frick and Glenn was like, oh, nice build quality. And then I told him that this thing is 129 bucks and Glenn was like, what? Yep, that's exactly how he sounded. That means we're going to look at them. I will also offer a warning to any electric guitar player trying to buy the EQ. You will wreck your sound with it because it is very flexible, very surgical, and guitar players, me included, do not have the mental capacity to handle something like this. With great power comes great responsibility, and that is 100% what we have to think about when we look at the Pentatone EQ. It is a studio-style tool, and I don't think should be given to guitar players. To acoustic guitar players, however, it is different. So we're gonna send an acoustic through it at the end, and I'm gonna show you what the possibilities are there, because you need maybe a little bit more surgical finesse there. But let's look at the Gate first, which is very simple. I'm going to tell you what it does, and then we're done with it. So I have both of them in the effects loop of the IID. So I recommend the EQ also to be in the effects loop of your amp so that you're shaping the sound you're creating. If you're putting it in front of your amp, you're actually pushing, let's say you're pushing more of these mids right here, right? Then you're changing the way your amp does gain and the way your amp distorts. So an EQ in front of drive will change the drive behavior somehow. Behind it, it'll just shape the frequency response, which is really what you want. But to the Gate first. So you'll go in here with your guitar, you will go out here with your guitar, and then into your amp. This is our amp 4 right now. This will mean the Gate has a very, very clean signal to evaluate, which means it knows when you're playing and when you're not playing. Green, I'm not playing, and when I'm playing, it triggers. Let me show you. Very quickly, you see that? If I crank this up, so now it actually triggers too quickly. And high threshold means I can't get my signal through at all. So I would actually need a lot more signal. So I got a great response right here where I didn't even notice it was there. So it analyzes the clean signal, right? But it doesn't gate the clean signal before the amp. The amp generates noise. Let me show you. So there you go. It's almost gone. Perfect. So if the amp generates noise, but you're actually gating it before it hits the amp, then that noise is still going to be there and the gate doesn't do anything. But if you're trying to gate it and analyze it in the effects loop and you didn't have this trigger, let's say, input, which many gates now have, then it would be more difficult to know when you're playing and when you're not playing, and to differentiate from noise and usable signal. So this is only usable signal, and then you're putting this in the effects loop right here, the gate in and gate out. That's in the effects loop right here. And that means we're gating the noise from the amp in the loop. Very, well, not easy to understand, but it makes a lot of sense. So this will trigger the gate, very, very clean signal, and it'll then cut it off or don't cut it off. So it's a perfect way to be super precise. So check this out. That's a good gate. Now, there are other gates on the market like the Ref G8 or Gate. The KMA has some ISP, Decimator, many other companies. I feel, honestly, they all do the same thing. They cut your signal. They either do it well or they don't. I think they all do it well. Ibanez is nailing it with that Pentatone Gate at $99. No offense to Ref. I think the Gate is great, the G8. But this does the same thing with high build quality, a snazzy, simple gray exterior at $99. So, would it be the one I get? It would be. Honestly. It frickin' does the job. Moving on to the EQ. Let me show you that shit. Oh, we've got a cutout here. So, look. Lights up. Nice. So, on our amp, we have a 3-band EQ. Bass, middle, treble. It has a certain range where each knob acts. So the mids might be from here to here. Let's say 450 to 2K. And when you're turning it, how much is it boosting it? And what is the slope? Is it boosting it really pointy? Or is it boosting it like this? We never know. So each tone stack is kind of different. On Marshalls, it does very little. Wampler likes his EQs on pedals to be way active and more effective. They're all different. But you cannot change this or this, right? And we only have bass, middle, treble. Now here we have bass, middle, 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 treble. Or bass, bass, middle, treble, treble. However you want to see this. However you want to set it up. So the lowest range right here goes from 30, which is ridiculous. That'll be, the low B on a 5-string is about 29 Hertz. So you can use this for 5-string basses. And for bass, this would actually be really cool. Only that I'm not showing you that for bass because they're not paying me enough. I should, but still, not paying me enough. I'm an ass. So 3200. That is really low, low, low. So you're setting up where the frequency is, right? Where the bell is, and then whether you're boosting or cutting. And then here you can say whether it's affecting a wider range of frequencies or a very narrow range of frequencies. Now, the problem with the narrow range of frequencies is if I down there were to do that, very narrow range of frequencies, right? All the way to the right. And I'm playing, 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 but my fundamental, meaning the root note of my sound, isn't really hitting that perfectly, I get a nice bass boost in the surrounding frequencies. But should I hit a note that actually is that fundamental on that frequency or very next to it, it's going to be so loud it might actually break my speakers. So with these very narrow cues, that's what it's called a cue or resonance, you can really mess up. And it's not naturally sounding, but maybe you want to do some cool weird sounds, okay? Now, if you wanted a wah sound, you would boost, it actually says Q right there, you would boost it rather narrow right here. You would actually try to get the frequencies surrounding that bound and really boost it here, and then find out where that wah sits, because that's really then your wah, right? You wouldn't be able to go wow, 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 but you can set it up. Oh, let me show you. I'm gonna go kind of cleanish here. Maybe we do that here. Wow, you get that, right? And this is, by the way, how you would set up an EQ like this. You're going to boost it all the way. Let's say we're going to do this. So to hear where you are, you're boosting it all the way. That's really what you do with any EQ. And maybe even really boost the Q. That's where we are now. Now you know where you set your frequency. Now you can pick your Q and your boost or cut. Now that I got that gone or lowered, but I found it by boosting it first. See, right now I'm not really hearing too much. You can hear it, but it's better when you're boosting it and then really hone in on the frequency. But you can already tell this is a dangerous pedal to have. Because you might be tempted to do what I just did, boost the Q. If you're using it subtly, all great. But use that, power with responsibility. With more gain, we can hear it clearer. So let's see. You know what, for guitar, not too much happens down here. So Let's see if we can get a couple of useful sounds here. So, that's my mid-scooped heavy sound, okay? But you might think, oh, that's a great sound. But then it's so scooped now that it'll probably disappear in a mix rather quickly. Now, if you're using it like this, as an effect for an intro, that can be cool. Like... You get the idea. So that, of course, is all doable. Or you want more of a pronounced lead for the mids. So that's a really mid-focused sound. You could, of course, again, put this before your amp and push your drive differently. But use it responsibly. Use it for an effect. Use it for a problem frequency you have. Use it because you want your strat or single coils to push your amp a little bit thicker than it does by itself. Use it as a happy helper, not go nuts and surgically distort your sound in the most horrible ways, unless that's your, jam, because you likely end up with a guitar sound that's not really usable or piercing or just annoying like crazy. But in playing with it right now, they didn't go overboard with the Q. It's not ridiculously crazy. It's not mega resonance. And even on drastic settings, it doesn't go completely overboard. So that's very, very nice. Let's set that up with an acoustic guitar and see how that can help you in a live situation. So here I got my beautiful new Dowina, new vintage O-Star. Beautiful guitar from Slovenia, and those beautiful people are coming to Gear Street, so you can see a lot more about their amazing guitars. This is rosewood all the way around, and then some kind of aged Sitka or whatever. Got a pickup, of course, and I'm plugged into the Pentatone EQ. Pickup sounds pretty damn good on this. The guitar is about 2400. full video of this baby coming. So the piezo sound to me is always and this is pretty good. There's a and maybe the top end is a bit weird, but in context, in a live situation, you might want to tweak it. And tweak it more than the guy with the three-band EQ on the console can do. Let's find that high mid sound that I don't like too much. That already is more pleasant. Now I can boost the top end a bit more maybe to really come through the mix. I have to say that the Pentatone 5-band fully parametric EQ can do a lot, but I'm impressed that it is subtle. You cannot go mega drastic and go extremely wrong, like you could, for example, with a Metal Zone. You know, a Metal Zone has big EQ possibilities, and on the Boss Metal Zone, you can go wrong, and that's why it has such a bad reputation. If you know what you're doing, it's all good. Here, you have to know what you're doing, but the range of the boost and cut is not so drastic that you can really destroy your signal. Let's see. I mean, that's not what you want, but it isn't unusable. Kind of banjo-y maybe. Resonatory. So there you go. That's the Pentatone thing. I would recommend it for acoustic, for electric guitar, yes, but be careful and know what you're doing. It's 129 bucks. That is too small. It's a very fair price for that pedal, and for the Gate, 99 bucks. Just gate it right now. Just get it right. Support the channel. Please subscribe. I put links below to all the shops. Please buy at all the shops that I put links to. Whatever you buy, please click my link first. If you're buying a drum set, please click my link first. That's how it works. That's how you're supporting the channel. That's how you keep me independent. That's how you keep me, you know, fed. And I will have the power to tell the companies to fuck off when they produce shit. This is not shit. This is actually pretty good. Thanks, Ibanez, for your trust in me. And I will put links below and animals at the end.
we are in American nowhere, the naked desert heart of American nowhere. Taking it too far out American nowhere. I chase the darkest